Hey, good to be out of the mists, isn't it? This is really cool artwork. I like these, like, drawn back scenes. I would like to know if this is hand drawn. I guess it doesn't matter. It's cool either way. But if this is hand drawn, that's even cooler, I think. Very cool scene. Definitely. The clear skies seem to have forward on the mum a little bit, which I think everyone is appreciating. How are you holding up? Well enough, all things considered. That's good to hear. You've been through a lot these past few weeks. More than I signed up for when I enrolled at the academy, that's for sure. Ah, but that's always how it is, isn't it? How do you mean? It was never like that before. No, but in all the stories we've ever heard growing up, a good hero always gets more than he bargains for. I guess, but in stories, you always know the hero can handle
Hardly.
it. Not necessarily. Didn't you ever study the great sun elf tragedies at the academy? So my story is a tragedy. That's reassuring. Huh. No, life is different, of course. More like being the author and the main character at the same time. I hardly feel that in control of anything. Fine. Maybe it's more like being one of several authors. Do you think he knows we're coming? The necromancer? Whoever that was on the battlefield? I think he expects to see you again, and I think he'll be better prepared.
Kidding.
I think so too. In fact, I'm sure of it, though I can't quite explain why. Well, then the only thing to do is be more prepared for him than he is for us. Huh. Your father would be proud. I am flattered to hear those words from your mouth. That's probably as close to his approval as I'll ever get. That's not true, and you know it. Perhaps. It seems we could both benefit from giving ourselves a little more credit for our accomplishments. Perhaps. Well, I think I'm going to turn in. Ford needs me on deck bright and early tomorrow. Sounds good. And Garrick, I just wanted to tell you, I'm really grateful you're still here after everything. You know, I get these moments sometimes that make me feel like the four of us are right back at the academy, like nothing has changed. I know what you mean. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't either. Well, I'll leave you to enjoy the view. Beautiful, isn't it? But don't stare too long. I wouldn't want to wake up and find out you'd fallen overboard to be captured by wandering Elither. Didn't you say you were turning in? Right. Nice conversation between old friends. Hey, would you look at that? The priest lady finally looks up from her rocks to take in the sea. You really are the worst, Ford. What are you still around for anyway? Weren't you going to use us to extort your debtors and be off?
I better get paid.
Yeah, well, the financing from your beloved order should just about cover things. Besides, I think you guys are starting to like having me around. I wouldn't want to make anybody sad. No, just irritated, apparently. Only you, your holiness. Ugh. Hey, look, dolphins. See how they breach one after another? I read once that this sometimes inspires the sailors' stories of sea serpents. Oh, trust me, when you've seen the real thing, you can tell the difference. Wow, I've never seen anything like that. They're majestic. Now what is this? That appears to be avian excrement. Okay. Accursed birds. Huh, that might be bad news for your robe, but it's good news for us. We can't be too far from shore. Fair enough. How far do you reckon? With winds like this, not more than a day. Say, Sarah, you sure your guides will take good care of old Humpback? It seems like we might be gone a while. I couldn't live with myself if anything happened to her. Your ship will be safe in Aramore, Ford. You have my word. I just wish Aramore wasn't so far from Kirch. It'll be weeks before we get there. On the bright side, that's less than what we've spent on the ship. It's just traveling on foot like criminals. It's completely different. Okay. Traveling on foot like criminals. It is, but this is important. My contact will help us get to the bottom of who's behind all this. I know. Nothing beats the sea, huh, kid? We won't be fugitives forever, Alden. Once we've secured the aspects and stopped whatever is afoot, all of Delia will know what we've done. They'll understand. If by they you mean Varric, I hardly think he'd develop a sudden inclination for mercy if he's still king after all of this. We'll see. Dun dun dun! In the depths of Koli Sumash's temple, Irving meets the god himself. After passing the trial of the soul, Koli Sumash entrusts Irving with the power of a huge trove of aspects. The party departs from the mist safely, headed back to Etland. After the ardor of the village to Vera, spirits are low. Each knows that a difficult journey lay ahead of them. They head for Kirch, where Vesta has an order contact who can set them up and give them the lay of the land. For some inexplicable reason, Faust continues to follow along. Okay. Oh, Faust is another healer. Fantastic. Opening spices. Poultry seasoning. Kind of a hot take, but I actually think like a properly cooked turkey is better than like a prime rib. I think Guardian is what we're gonna do. Spread the heals out a little bit. We just have to be a little careful. Now, going Guardian, our fortitude is lower, so we have to be a little careful of taking damage from mages. So possibly Inquisitor would have been a good way to go, because Inquisitors are strong against mages, but let's see. We'll get through it either way. The Prodigal Priestess returns. It's good to see you, Vesta. And you, Irene. Though I wish the circumstances were different. Comes with the territory. Tavern Chatter says you and your friends here set off across the sea. Never to return, I would hope. Depends on who you ask. Would you mind introducing yourselves? I feel like a rat in a steam house right now. I am Irving Sildarin of Brookstead.
Very well.
Maeve Leverin, Grand Inquisitor for the Mystic Council of the Expanse. Lincoln Valdasov, former captain in the Delian army. Sarah Roan, third in line for the Aramoran throne. So let me get this straight. The grandson of the Order's Grand Master, right hand of Delia's former commander, the likely future Queen of Aramor, and the Mystic Council's favorite Inquisitor. That about cover
That's
it?
correct.
Favorite is a stretch, but you're correct for the most part. I was hoping you could catch us up on what we've missed in our absence. You might as well get comfortable then. I've been doing my best to track the one you had warned me about before your departure. The Necromancer?
Hard to be sure.
Well, him too. Turns out there are a lot of shadowy figures traipsing about Delia causing havoc these days. The strangest thing is that everything worth tracking seems to operate out of Sojourn, which to me means one of three things. Either Varric's spies haven't noticed, haven't been able to stop it, or have been told not to stop it. I know Varric, if he caught wind of an unchecked conspiracy, he'd be tearing the country apart piece by piece to root it up. Well, he is. I'm just not sure the two are related. What do you mean? He's been accelerating timelines and work schedules for every construction project in Delia, most notably the aqueducts. He's destroyed several villages in its path and has conscripted their villagers for indentured labor. That's not ideal. That's cruel. The purpose of a king is to protect his people, not use them to advance his own glory. You've met the man, Irving. He's not who he once was. Please continue, Irene. Thousands of others who feel as Irving does have been imprisoned or indentured. They're reopening rural prisons that haven't been touched in decades. It's worse than we thought, especially for the common folk. It seems no one is safe from Varric's wrath. That much is certain. This entire country is at its tipping point. I wish I had more information for you, but I can't find so much as a word on the Necromancer. What of the other sorcerer, the one that wiped out the armies at Swift Harbor? Every scrap of intel on that day points back to your group. Were you not responsible?
Troubling.
No, we were not. That's quite troubling. We're back to square one, then. What news of the war? Stalled, for the moment. Neither king seems in any particular hurry to lose the other half of their army. Never imagined it would come to this, but King Varric strikes me as the most promising lead at the moment. It's unlike him not to investigate these occurrences. It's possible he's working with this sorcerer, or the Necromancer, or worse, both. What about this prodigy you mentioned back in Shelobons? Care to elaborate?
I think not.
I wouldn't know how to, and I certainly would be authorized to if I did. It's not important, Lincoln. Not right now. We're going to have to go through Varric to get whoever's behind this either way. We might as well make our peace with that. Irving is right. Now that whatever Maeve knows about this prodigy doesn't matter until we're ready for it, how do we get started? First things first, we'll need a base of operations. We can sort out the rest from there. Any suggestions, Lincoln? You know better than anyone where Varric's men would be looking for us. I do know one place they dare not go. It's not far from here, actually. You speak of the Marrows. If you know this place, you know it's best not to discuss it further until we arrive. We'll scare everyone half to death, unless you have an alternative suggestion. No. You're already scaring me, Lincoln, but it seems we have little choice. I trust your judgment. Irene, thank you for your diligence. Your service does you great honor. Honor is nice, but it won't put me up at the Platinum Pony.
As you will.
You'll receive your payment from the Order soon enough. In the meantime, leave no stone unturned. I'll do what I can. Farewell. Hopefully we'll meet again soon. I want to see her swing that giant sword around. We get some Claymore action, some Irene Claymore action going on here. Bondage. Did you find it strange at all, returning to Varroa? No stranger than the times themselves? Things looked changed somehow, in Isen's Hope especially. The garden seemed overgrown, and the shoreline was different than I remember. The seasons turned, and the lungs of Terrazael breathed with no regard for mortal affairs. You're right. I guess it just goes to show how much time has passed. For me, less so. Did you have any desire to visit home while we were there? I know you weren't so close with your family, but is there no one you'd like to see again? Perhaps there is one. I had a friend at the monastery, a mentor. She had resided there for some time when I arrived, and remained after I left. What was her name? Naira. She was wise and gentle. I'm sure she was, especially if you thought so. Have you ever considered visiting her? No, I cannot return. Not even to the island? It is forbidden for one who has heard the call of the gods, and as you've observed, things change of their own accord. It's a delusion to think one can return to times past. I suppose it is, but sometimes it's a happy delusion.
I don't understand.
I don't see the use for such things. Well then, consider yourself lucky. You seem to have made your peace with the truth of things, Helena. I admire that. And your courage and fidelity. You have much to teach yourself. How does the saying go? To the eager student, life is a perpetual teacher. Something of that spirit. That's good enough for me. Yeah, I like that. I think that's true, probably. If you want to learn, you will. Did you really mean everything you wrote in that letter, Garrick? It's not like you to get all serious. Look, I don't want to get all sappy or anything. I did. Let's leave it at that. Sappy? Garrick, it was beautiful. I don't want this to change what we have. We have fun, and I like that. I don't know what else I want out of this right now. That's exactly what a girl wants to hear, you airhead. Ugh, I knew this was a bad idea. No, it wasn't. You're just not used to ever doing anything serious. We can work through that part. Just because you've told me how you feel doesn't change anything between us. You're the one making it weird right now.
Joke.
I'm making it weird? You practically baited me into writing it with all your talk about how relationships that never take things seriously are doomed. Are you serious right now? I was kidding. That was a joke because we have a healthy relationship and we never take anything serious.
Right.
Oh. That's how dumb we are. Yeah. Well, how am I supposed to pick up on that? Exactly. You have this really interesting thing in your skull. I think it's called a brain. Could probably try and use that. It was a nice letter, though.
Great.
Can we move away from the letter already? Aren't you curious if I've been writing one of my own? I wasn't until just now. Well, I'm not.
Great.
This is fun.
But now I think I will. Equity is important, right? You make a fool out of yourself, I make a fool out of myself. It'll be great.
You're really something.
You really don't have to do that. No, I really think I do. It's going to be a blast. I'll read it out loud to the whole crew. I will never help you with one of your schemes again if you do that. It's cute that you think you ever had a choice. Like a fiddle. Hey, bud, how's your head? Fine. Why? Something wrong with it? How much time you got?
I'm lost.
For what? To talk? Don't worry about it. Just want to make sure you didn't jumble anything around back there in the Trial of the Soul, you know? When you tried that whole Benji smash thing? Yeah, I remember. Hey, that's a good sign. I really thought that was going to work. I bet you did. Well, if you start to feel your head throb, don't try to sleep it off. Go see Marin. She'll patch right up.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bianca. I appreciate you looking out for me like that. You're a good friend. Benji, whoa. I mean, it's nothing, buddy, really. But yeah, happy to lend a hand when I can. That's what it's all about, right? Yeah, I'm glad you taught me that.
Not even.
I hardly think you learned that all from me.
It's simple.
Well, you remember what you said before about being on the same team and protecting each other. Isn't that pretty much the same thing? Yeah, I guess it is.
Nothing less than the best.
That's worth something, then. I'm on a great team, the best of the best, and when you're the best, there's no one else quite like you. I'd say that's pretty lucky. It is lucky, and definitely worth something. I think there's an extra worth in there. Here's to the best team then, Benji. May we play to win. Isn't any other way to play. Sometimes there is. Play for fun. These are video games. Don't always have to win, as long as it's fun. Hey, Irving, what happened when you went in there? Did you actually talk to a god? Trying to talk to a god. That was a codfish reference, if you didn't get that. I assume you're asking about the Trial of the Soul when I entered the Inner Sanctum? Yeah, we all tried putting our ears against the wall, well, most of us anyway, but we couldn't hear anything, just silence. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some magic at work suppressing the sound. The voice I heard was not quiet. It was as clear as I might sound speaking to you now. Wow, that's crazy. I considered the possibility that I was losing my mind myself just as it was happening. Thankfully, I seem to have gotten on all right since. But to answer your question, I'm not sure who or what I talked to. All I know is that it claimed to be Kolisumash, the god of the soul, and it was unlike anything I have ever encountered. Then it's all real, the astral plane, the gods, the aspect, all of it?
Yes.
Everything we've been through would lead me to believe that, yes. Wild. I still remember when some of my friends at the academy started telling me all of that was just the stuff of fairy tales to get little kids to behave. If that's true, then I'm just as certain we're living in just such a fairy tale. Then let's hope it's the kind with a good ending.
No kidding.
Huh, yes, let's hope. Whether or not we are may very well be up to us to determine. If that's the case, I'll do anything I can to make sure it is. I'd put a fair amount of coin on that, Alden, if I were a betting man, that is. Like Garrick? Yes, like Garrick. There's, I think, a lot of truth to that. The outcome is largely, not all, not entirely, but largely up to us. You have to put in the effort. Brooke, why are you standing like that? Got a problem with how I stand now? You're hurt. Is it the left leg or the right one? Samara, I'm fine. Hold still. Did you hear a word I said? Technically, I did. There, how's that? Better? Good. Why are you so stubborn?
Be serious.
I'm the
I
stubborn
should've
one?
known.
Yes, you are. Our enemies don't care who hired you, Brooke. They just as happily bring down any of us. We all have to rely on each other. All of us. I understand that. I just thought I could walk that one off without bothering you. Well, look how that turned out. Yes, clearly I failed terribly. That's right. Next time, just tell me, will you? Consider it done. Monroe and Sia have some bondage. What's up, shitty slicker?
Pointless.
City slicker, charming. Do they teach you any larger words out in wherever you're from? Nope, I'm as dumb as a doorknob and uneducated to boot. I slept in the barn with the piggies as a girl. That's appalling. I don't feel the need to know any of this. But wait, it gets worse. My ma and pa, well, they don't read too good. My best friend in the world was a cow.
Ugh.
I see you're just toying with me then. I don't. I have haven't the patience
Can you
today.
not?
Maybe don't be such a donkey when someone takes genuine interest in how you're doing. How am I supposed to decipher sincerity out of your barnyard insult? It's not an insult, Monroe. Some people call each other names endearingly. I would think in all your fancy education you might have noticed
Naturally.
that. I am fully aware of that. The name came across as personally offensive to me, as if I don't understand the countryside because I'm stuck in the city, as if such a thing were possible. Oh, so you do understand the country. I've read plenty on it. To preside over one's peasants well, one must be versed in their ways. Peasants. Geez, Monroe, how many chances do you want me to give you?
Absurd.
I don't want you to give me anything. I want you to go away. Fine. He's kind of a something. Iris, mind if I join you? Not at all. Please do. Looks like you and Monroe are in it for the long haul. I think so, and I'm really glad, honestly. Even if he did want to leave, I'm not sure I'd follow. That's certainly comforting to me. You don't trust him, do you? I don't know if it's that, but I'm not sure what he wants. That scares me in a person. Words. Makes sense. I'm not sure he knows what he wants, but I think he's finding it here more than he'd admit. I hope so. How did you end up in his service? We met in Swift Harbor, actually, not long before we boarded Ford's ship. He had business in Ho Fen, and I was looking to take a new job. Swift Harbor is a long way from Nulaise. That was the idea, really, being black-blooded and all. What a vile name. I suppose that's one more reason a trip across the barrel appealed to you? Definitely. Do you ever miss home? All the time. That's the worst part, I think. I know I can't go back. Not for long, anyway, but I never hated it. To be honest, my childhood was wonderful. I had loving parents, plenty of space to learn and grow. Before the whole incident, of course. You mean the event that gave you those scars? Yes. Those men would have done anything they could to hurt my father. I'm sorry. It's difficult to talk about sometimes. Of course. I don't mean to pry. You know, I miss home often too. My childhood room, my family. You weren't born in Delia? No, Densk, actually.
Whoa.
Wow, that must have been incredible. It had its perks, but I was never meant to stay. I heard my calling, first to the priesthood, then to the order. I wasn't really at home in Densk. But the priesthood, the order, they gave me purpose, connected me to something I believed in. I feel that way too about this group, I mean. Do you? I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, and I think we carry a part of home with us too, wherever we go. I think that becomes part of whatever purpose or beliefs we end up following. That would explain many things, like how the road, a good friend, or some quiet meditation can feel the same way as home. Sometimes,
That
anyway.
sounds right.
Yeah, sometimes. We're not done with bondage yet. You know, I could really see the appeal in a man who communes with the gods themselves. It could have been any one of
Guess I'll
us.
state the
I hope you'll
obvious.
excuse me if I don't believe Benji would have answered everything the right way. Okay. That was the correct answer, Sloan. Benji would have barked at the god. Woof, woof. You never know. Say what you will about Benji, the guy just keeps on winning. That's also true. If you're referring to corn husking competitions and measurements of brute strength, yes, he wins more than anyone I've ever met. Did you come by for something, or was that it? I just wanted to give me the one-liner. I'll admit, sometimes I don't come in with more of a plan than the one-liner. You've got me there. You don't believe that any more than I do. God's help me. I've been seen through. Ah, the pure, abject horror. All right, settle down. Can you just level with me for once? What did you come by for? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I guess I'm curious about what it was like. The presence of Koli Smash, I mean. Truthfully, all the stories speak of this presence or aura. I still don't know what I was actually seeing in there, but I felt neither of those things.
Come on.
That's anticlimactic. Don't get me wrong, it was exhilarating, terrifying, incredible. A whole mix of emotions, but it was just a voice. I don't think he was really there, you know? Or maybe that's just what gods are. Maybe there's no presence. I highly doubt the stories we were told as children about the gods are accurate. Maybe. I'm trying not to dwell too much on it. It couldn't have been any of us, for the record.
You're not half bad.
You're the best of us, Irving. You may not want to hear that, but it's true. You hold the torch. We should get some rest. If he were the best of us, I would have chosen Knight for his promotion, but I didn't. I chose Defender, and now he's not very good. True speed doubled when below 30% HP. Okay. Crit increased by 30%. Defense and fortitude halved. Why does it have to have such a, like, downside? Defense and fortitude halved? What? Swaps strength and speed. Mastery increased by 20%. Okay, hang on. I need to look at Irving. He might get that one. Is that a does mastery help with survival? Increases damage and units' ability to exploit high advantage matchups. So that's about damage. It's not about survival. Who needs more damage? Or who could really get like pushed over the edge with a little bit more damage? Elias doesn't have one. Let's just give it to him. Okay. Hit rate is always 50%. Power increased by 50%. You just miss a lot. My luck is not good enough to use that one. Does power affect healing? Power. Damage. Does power affect healing? Power increased by 50%. That could be good if it affects healing. Bonded units within 2 tiles increase damage by 5%. She doesn't do damage. She's a healer. She doesn't do damage very often anyways. Swaps power and true speed. And it's 80% resistance to fire magic. That's better than nothing. Swaps defense and fortitude. Fortitude plus 10 with no adjacent allies. Okay, who is really suffering for fortitude? Sia could possibly been Irving. I mean, we could give Hecklin's pride to what's her face? Helena. What does she have on? No. She keeps that. Wish I could look at stats and equipment and like the convoy at the same time so I could, you know, effectively pick like without going back and forth. Attacks mark enemies, increasing damage taken by 10% for 1 turn. Significantly lowers the rate at which enemies target the holder. Sia could get that one. Dodge reduced by 60%. Defense and fortitude increased by 10. I mean, that's good. Like, Irving could get that one because... Actually, Irving could get that one because... he needs more tankiness. He needs more magic defense. And he's not dodging anything anyways. Oh, yeah. That's easy for Alden. Alden, like, one-shots almost everything. So we can heal nearby allies by just killing things. Luck depleted to increase power, dodge, and true speed. Does that mean no crit? Swaps defense and strength. Swaps mastery and luck. Swaps 50% of crit and power. These swap ones are weird to me. Magic depleted to increase defense and fortitude. So... while I have this... I want to see. Okay, I have to go back here. Is there a way to? I want to see what increases his fortitude by more. Okay, so magic is already 0. If I put that one on, does it actually increase anything? Or is... yeah, it doesn't increase anything because it probably increases defense and fortitude by however much magic is decreased. So... who has a magic stat and doesn't need it? Her. Bianca. She doesn't need a magic stat. That would help her a lot, actually. Oh wait, it's on Irving right now. I want to see what her stats are right now. 18 and 11. So it went up by 10. They both went up by 10. She lost 22 magic. So now we'll see. We'll see now if magic affected her attack at all. I wanted to see Irving. Fortitude is 7. What was the other one? Did something increase fortitude by 10? Swaps defense and fortitude. That's not happening. Fortitude plus 10 with no adjacent allies. So we just keep allies away from him, if possible. And then he'll be able to take magical hits significantly better. Okay. Who else doesn't have one? He doesn't have one. It's level 28? Dang. Okay. Hit rate is always 50%, power increased by 50%. We can use that to kind of get an idea of if that affects healing power. Sure. Arma doesn't have one? When did we take his off? Must have given it to someone else. I mean, at the very least, we just give them some like some sort of like elemental resistance. Terrazael's sight should definitely get put on somebody. Samaran's shade will go to Sia, almost for sure. Let's just do that. What do we have on Sia? She can't. She just can't. You just can't survive. So, we need something. Theron's Passion. I think that's what it was. Okay. Dodge reduced. Oh, dodge reduced by 60%. Defense and fortitude increased by 10. That's the one we give to Irving. Then he can have people buy him. He's not dodging anything anyways. Let's give, let's check Brooks. Who else do we have? Caius? Caius can have this one. Because he does better if he doesn't have a teammate around, I believe. Okay, now who doesn't have one? Iris. That one. Ren. There's a spicy meatball. Sorry. Luck depleted to increase power, dodge, and true speed. So he will dodge like everything now. Marin. Okay, we'll just give her, I don't know, resistance to storm magic, sure. Garrick can have resistance to fire. Well, he doesn't really need. Whatever. That'll work. Arima. Have some counterattack damage. Okay. There we go. Upgrades. We have 10 grand. Okay. So we need to buy a couple of level 1s, a couple of level 2s, and then we start buying level 3s. This is kind of nice. We can actually buy a couple of stat boosters now. We could buy 2. I think the way to go is to get somebody's weapon leveled up to level 4. Faust is just going to go to level 3 for now because he's a healer for the most part. But we'll have a weapon leveled up to level 3. Somebody else gets the level 4. Ooh, Garrick. Benji. I think maybe Benji. Benji's my favorite character. He gets it. There we go. That's how that works. Okay, spent a lot of time there. Advance. These legs were meant for the sea, not the dirt. I don't think I could walk another 5 minutes, let alone another day. Well, it looks like you won't have to. Yes, this must be it. This is it? I'm not sure the side of a mountain is the best place to make camp. No, not the side of it, inside of it. There's an intricate system of caverns here and an entrance just up ahead. Ooh, exciting. Never been inside a cave before. We should be far from prying eyes here. The Dalian army scouts are instructed to avoid this area at all costs. Why is that? For their own safety. For their own safety? And we're just learning about this now? You guys hear that? Hear that? What is going on up there? What? No, I'm quite sure I think you might have left that part out, Lincoln. I see. Well, forgive me, but whatever their reasons, I'm sure it's nothing we can't handle.
Follow me.
I hope you're right. Stay alert, everyone. Come on, let's take a look. Hey, check this out. Wow, what's this? Some kind of war room? Delian scouts had a presence in these mountains a very long time ago. Do you think they built this? It's possible.
Whoa there.
That would explain the dust. It looks like Ford is trying to get Lincoln to take a drink. It's perfect. Like it was built just for us. Look, on the wall. Seems like someone's already mapped out a huge chunk of caverns. There is something in this machine that's still burning. What is this?
Watch yourself.
None of your darn business. what that is.
To arms!
Weapons. Get your dainty fingers away from my map. A dwarf is a dwarf. The Delian army is afraid of a dwarf. Not just any dwarf, mind ye. Fenton, the troll trampler, goblin grinder, and hobgoblin hobbler. I reckon I could put quite a dent in an army. With the right hammer, of course. Please, Fenton the goblin gobbler, I assure you, we mean no harm to you or your people. Ah, my people? Even I mean harm to my people now and again. You really ought to meet some of them. Oh, that's quite all right. No need for that. Well, there aren't any here now. I've got a taste for adventure as far as dwarves go, and venturing this far south, or maybe I shouldn't have said that. Not to worry, we're clearly the trespassers here. I'm sure we can find another place to set up camp. We'll be on our way. Well, wait. You said you were looking for a place to make camp? That's right.
Huh?
It is safe here. I've plenty of... Oh, hang on. We don't do that here. It's safe here. I have plenty of food and provisions. If you like, perhaps you could stay a while for a price, naturally. The journey here's run us dry of our coin, I'm afraid. Then mayhaps you can repay me with a favor. What kind of favor? Well, I have a small problem. I've spent the last few years tracking down my inheritance. Only I've had some trouble getting to it. You mentioned you were short on coin. Let me be clear. This here's my claim, but if you help me secure it all, I'll oblige you. Say a 10% cut. Fair is fair, after all, and a lot of you seem strong enough. Irving, if this inheritance is of any significance, it might just be the break we need.
Good work.
Fenton, if we assist you, might we be able to make this place a more permanent home? Of course. Once I've got what I came for, I'll leave the whole place to you. Oh, this is a real thrill. I've waited a long time for this. Come, I'll lead the way. Hang on. Just what kind of problem are we dealing with exactly? Is it a dragon? He trying to get a dragon's horde? You'll see. No time for chit-chat. Gold, platinum, silver, they don't rust. You can thank Varden for that, but copper corrodes. Best not to waste any time. Fenton, wait. Called it. I called it. Leave it to a dwarf to want to steal from a dragon. Look at that thing. We're dead. It's just gonna go and we're all dead. Okay. Ah, there she is. Minor dragonkin, not like the biggins out east. A dragon? And that's a small one? Aye, small, but fearsome nonetheless. I hope we get to pick our 10% or what's left of it. If by we, you mean who's left of us, friends, we have no reason to fear. We're more than capable, and surprise is on our side. Ha, I like how you put it. Well, I figured I ought to help in the slaying and whatnot. Can't risk you all dying and losing my chance at my inheritance. Of course. Right. We definitely go knight. Knight seems to be the strongest path here. Dragoon is pretty good also. If this guy wants to fight a dragon, maybe he can ride a dragon, and later we can pretend like we tamed this dragon. That's an option. What's his skill? Damage increased by 10% of level. So the higher his level, the more damage he does? Defender is definitely not happening, although as a dwarf, that would have been maybe cool. Barbarian doesn't fit for him. The knight, maybe. I mean... Dragoon doesn't fit at all. The defender probably fits the best. I would like to see it with an axe though for the dwarf. I'm tempted to go knight though anyway, just because of how strong Helena is. Plus a damage increase. Just go. Let's go for the knight. Locking it in. Well, we can't all be legends in our own right. Watch and learn, little man. Okay. In the depths of the Marrows, the group comes across Fenton, a lone dwarf who leads them further still. To claim your base, you must slay the dragon who has long haunted the Marrows. Can we look at the dragon? Level 30, 2.5k. hit points. Wait. Error in action number 1 or draw event for object something. I just got a error. I think... Did the game crash? Bro. This is where we were. Okay. I got back. Ads over. Look at that. Back like it never happened. Like it never happened. Okay. Where's all this? Oh, there's the gold. I was like, where's all this gold? There better be actually gold. Okay. Level 30, dude. Okay, we definitely need our strong fighters here. Irving. Probably we should bring Irving, no? For tankage. Okay, who do we leave out? A thief? We definitely take the thief. The dragon will really love the thief, right? Let's leave the strider. I want Irving. Who else do we have sitting out right now? Lincoln. Probably want Lincoln. Seems like bringing all of our healers would be a really good idea. Who sits out for that one? This guy? Thalanel? Arma? Okay. Save. There. Now if it crashes, it doesn't matter. Slay the dragon of the Marrows and claim 10% of Fenton's inheritance. I didn't move my characters around. Okay. Oh. Fire breath deals 25% damage. Okay. Where's Irving? Ah. That's so much.
I will not yield.
Hit points. Wait. Does he not return the attack? I'll take that.
My sword grows lighter with every swing. At your disposal.
I think we should probably just move or like spread around as much as possible. Why does the pike do more damage? Weird. Less crit chance. Oh, he actually...
Your end approaches.
So certain places he will counterattack and certain places he will not. We have to figure out where those places are. Okay.
Yield now
nice,
or
nice.
die.
We need those crits. Keep them coming. We're down 100 HP already.
Yield
Another
now
crit.
or
Fantastic.
die.
So the back corners, he will attack with the tail. Okay.
Let's do it.
51? What is he counterattacking with? Let's see if he does. We put one of our healers to work here. No, he doesn't. Okay. I didn't look through the weapons there, but that worked out okay.
Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do. Okay. Fine. He's going to get a counterattack here. But it's okay. I'm guessing that the dragon will rotate. And we will be like having to get out of the breath on the right side or the left side or whatever, you know. Hit him with the lucky stick.
Out of Benji's way! Out of Benji's way!
Poor dragon. I kind of feel bad. Like, it's just minding its own business, sleeping probably for the last 500 years.
Please clap. Thought you'd never ask.
Almost 500 HP down. Monroe can probably do a lot of damage.
Here.
$58 times 2? Without even a crit? Let's get a crit. Or not. That's fine. Well, the rest of our characters, you kind of just get out of the way. I'm going to move around a little bit with the intention of getting to...
I'm here.
Getting to the back, kind of surround, then we can, it'll be easier to like spread out. What did I do? Oh, none of these guys can attack. We have one healer on the right. Let's go over here. We'll just go left with the rest. Spread out. There we go. Get out of the flame breath zone. Okay. How many attacks per turn does he get? Okay. So we can pretty much kind of stay where we're at for the most part. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what triggers the counterattacks.
Coming in hot!
The dragon's either going to like surprise me, or this is going to be extremely easy. See, like he got 2 attacks. We'll see if that continues to hold. We don't even have to move our characters for the most part right now.
You're
We
just
have a
another
very
cur.
high dodge chance against the dragon. Elias is down a couple hit points, so we can get a heal. We can get a heal. Some experience. One of our healers.
Damn, I'm good.
Yes, you are, Bianca. Very good.
From ember to flame.
Possibly would have been a good opportunity to
It is willed.
level up some characters. But this is fine also. You just walk up and smack it in the face with the butt of your sword.
Your fallen fate.
Twice. It's almost half dead. We've done a lot more damage this turn than we did the first turn. consumption. The bad way to go.
Effort duly rewarded.
Most of the time, that is true.
I will not yield!
Can we get him to halfway?
Smash!
Love Benji so much. Best character.
Benji brings the heat!
That's right. Benji's nothing if not spicy. Although, the actual damage he's doing is not as much as it was. Since we don't need to, we're not going to need to heal. We're going to be able to attack with what's her face as well.
Be honored that I'll kill you myself.
Yeah, there's the halfway mark. So now what happens? Dragon's gonna call for help or something. I bet.
Impressive, is it not?
Awaiting orders.
Back in the fight.
All right. This is not your end.
This should be fun.
Up to this point, it's one of the easiest fights in the game so far. Heal there. Get a heal on Irving.
More work? Don't look at me.
She can just attack. With potential to end the fight next turn. This was a really good opportunity to bring your lower level characters and level them up. I think. Unless he starts doing something different. Unless it becomes more dangerous. This has been extremely easy so far. So far, we haven't taken any damage from the dragon. We've dodged everything. So I think this is some kind of a setup. Okay.
I'm on it. You're just another
I have a
cur.
feeling that this is not going to go like I would want it to go
One step
for
at a
some
time.
reason. Moving him out of the way so I can move Bianca down one. Get out of the zone.
Too easy.
So far, Alden is correct. Yeah. Fight has been too easy. Something's gonna happen. This is way too easy. There's a dragon. Why would a dragon can't possibly be the easiest fight in the game. And so far, with the exception of the tutorial, so far this has been.
I've got a lot to learn.
Would hate to be you right now.
Thing is, we now have to just like back out with some of our characters and not attack.
I am here.
So we won't probably be able to finish it this turn because we have too many people not attacking.
This will serve me well.
All right.
Awaiting orders.
Two more people to attack. We're not going to get it. We're not going to finish the dragon this turn. But, so I'm curious what this attack is. Look. Fearsome Roar. Deals 15 damage and disarms. Okay, so Fearsome Roar. And then the Tail Swipe. Pretty easy to avoid these things, though. Just another I guess, example of how
My hard work
ranged
is paying off.
attackers are just better than the close range attackers. They're so much more versatile.
Take care your blood doesn't stain my robes!
We got close. Monroe just about pulled it off there. I could have finished it if I would have used all the other characters first. I could have finished it that turn and just attacked with my characters that I got out instead of just being quite so safe.
My sword grows lighter with every swing.
Okay, this is fine. We're just gonna finish him.
We've got you.
I'll take point.
I don't want to let Irving get the kill because he'll get the most experience that way. Let's see if I can.
I'm on it.
Okay, we might have Lincoln attack. Actually. Yeah.
At least you'll die on your
Okay,
feet.
Lincoln gets the kill. That's fine. Bonk.
Bam!
Dragon down.
By your grace.
Kill the dragon by bonking it on the tail. And it was just that straightforward.
Buren.
Okay. Cool. Great Syrah. No one is going to believe this. I can hardly believe it myself. I can, and what a worthwhile reward this is. Feel free to help yourself to anything in that far corner there. It's all yours. That looks more like 5% than 10. Nay, it's 10. Trust me. I've got a knack for these things. I'm sure. Then perhaps I'm starting to feel like nearly getting burnt to a crisp entitles me to a bit more than 10%. I never renegotiate with words, only weapons. But if you insist... No, Fenton, that won't be necessary. I think that share will be plenty. Thank you. Yes, very good. I don't suppose I could load this all into a cart. Might take quite a few trips. Say, friends, would you have some time on your hands? I could use some help transporting all of this back home. We have some rather important matters to attend to, dwarf. Why don't you call in some of your own kind? Psh, I wouldn't trust any of them with a hunk of iron. I suppose it's not out of the question, Fenton, but presently, Monroe's right. We do have some very pressing tasks. Well, that being the case, I think I'd like to stick around a bit longer, if you wouldn't mind having me. Best to keep an eye on things until you're ready for a little trip.
Good work.
I don't think anyone would object. If we're going to make it home, we'll need a good name for the place. The Marrows is a wee bit off-putting to visitors. I believe that's the idea. Any suggestions? Marrowhold. Ha! You humans sure are creative. I suppose it's to the point. Yes. I like it, Alden. Marrowhold it is. Now, I'd say we've all earned ourselves a good night's rest. Let's take some time to settle into our new home.